Good day to everybody out there. Peace and love. This is See Thy Wealth. Water your health. Drink a glass of water. So we got Trump back in the news today. Trump was challenged after blaming DEI for the DC plane crash. Here's what he said. President Donald Trump began his White House briefing Thursday with a moment of silence and a prayer for victims of Wednesday's crash at Reagan National Airport. But his remarks quickly became a diatribe against diversity hiring and his allegation, so far without evidence, that lowered standards were to blame for the crash. Trump on Thursday variously pointed the finger at the helicopter's pilot, air traffic control, his predecessor Joe Biden, and other Democrats, including former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, whom he labeled a disaster. Buttigieg responded by calling Trump despicable. The cause, you gotta love this country. Anywhere, anytime you can call a president despicable. In some countries, you talk messy about a president, it's off with your head. You getting chopped the hell out, publicly and probably literally. Anyway, or figuratively and literally. The cause of the crash is still unknown. Authorities are investigating and have not publicly identified the cause or said who might have been responsible for the collision of an American Airlines plane and a U.S. Army helicopter. Reporters on Thursday challenged Trump's claim. Here's a look at how Trump responded to some of their questions. Placing blame on diversity hiring. Trump was asked repeatedly to explain why he was blaming federal diversity and inclusion promotion efforts for the crash. At one point, alleging that previous leadership had determined that the Federal Aviation Administration workforce was too white. He did not back up those claims, while also declaring it was still not clear the FAA or air traffic controllers were responsible for the crash. Let's run that back one more time. Trump was asked repeatedly to explain why he was blaming federal diversity and inclusion promotion efforts for the crash, at one point alleging that previous leadership had determined that the FAA workforce was too white. He did not back up those claims, while also declaring it was still not clear the FAA or air traffic controllers were responsible for the crash. Question, are you saying this crash was somehow caused as the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims? This is a question to Trump. Trump says, it just could have been. We have a higher standard. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power. You have to go by psychological quality, and psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various, very powerful tests that we put to use. And they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that seeks the exact opposite. So we don't know. But we do know that you had two planes at the same level. You had a helicopter and a plane. That shouldn't have happened. And we'll see. We're going to look into that and we're going to see. But certainly for an air traffic controller, we want the brightest, the smartest, the sharpest. We want somebody that's psychologically superior. And that's what we're going to have. I mean, you can interpret what he meant by that in a whole bunch of different ways. Question. You have today blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake. Trump, it's all under investigation. That's what he says. Question, I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with the crash. Trump says, because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high level computer work and very complex computers, Trump was challenged on his claim that the FAA under the Democratic president had promoted the hiring of people with disabilities. The page Trump reference has existed on the FAA website for decades, including his first term. Question, the implication that the policy is new or that it stems from efforts that began under President Biden or the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, is demonstrably false. It's been on the FAA's website. This is a question. I don't think that's a question, though. That's a statement. Trump says, who said that? You? Wow. The question says no. So these aren't questions. It's on the website. The FAA's website. It was there from 2013. It was there for the entirety. It was there for the entirety of your administration, too. So my question is, why didn't you change the policy during your first administration? Trump says, I did change it. I changed the Obama policy, and we had a very good policy. And then Biden came in and rechanged it. And then when I came in 3 days ago, I signed a new order, bringing it to the highest level of intelligence. Okay. Trump agreed it was helpful to have Sean Duffy, his new transportation secretary, sworn and ready to respond when the major crisis hit. Question, is it helpful to have your Secretary of Transportation confirmed, and does this intensify your interest in getting other nominees confirmed quickly as well? Trump says, for sure. We want fast confirmations, and the Democrats, as you know, are doing everything they can to delay. They've taken too long. We're struggling to get very good people that everybody knows are going to be confirmed, but we're struggling to get them out faster. We want them out faster. We're assuring people it is safe to fly. Trump was asked if Americans should feel safe to fly after the crash. According to the FAA, Trump is expected to fly to Palm Beach, Florida, where his Mar-a-Lago club is located, for the weekend on Friday. Trump took another opportunity to criticize diversity hiring efforts for the crash as he wrapped up the news briefing. Question, should people be hesitant to fly right now? Trump says, no, not at all. I would not hesitate to fly. This is something it's been many years. This is something that it's been many years that something like this has happened. And the collision is just something that we don't expect ever to happen again. We are going to have the highest level people. We've already hired some of the people that you already hired for that position long before we knew about this. I mean, long before, from the time I came in, we started going out and getting the best people because I said it's not appropriate what they're doing. I think it's a tremendous mistake. You know, they like to do things and they like to take them too far. And this is sometimes what ends up happening. Now, with that, I'm not blaming the controller. I'm not saying there are things that you could question, like the height of the helicopter, the height of the plane being at the same level and going the opposite direction. That's not a positive. But no, we're already hiring people. Flying is very safe. We have the safest flying anywhere in the world, and we'll keep it that way. I mean, let me know what y'all think in the comments. What's going on with Trump? I mean, does he have a point here? Does he not have a point? Is he tripping or is he bugging? Is he drawing? Is he reaching for air? I mean, what's going on with Trump? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Have y'all been keeping an eye on this whole debacle and this whole tragedy that has happened? And my heart goes out to the family members of everyone that's lost someone in those plane crashes, because I was flying that night. I flew from Belize to BWI, and as I was leaving Atlanta on the layover, we got the message on our phone that flight has just crashed into the helicopter. So that could have very well been any flight that was going in that. It just couldn't have been coming from Kansas City. It could have been my flight that was getting ready to fly into BWI, that was getting lower to descend and getting ready to land. So, it's messy out here. And, yeah, we do need the highest quality of people. But to insinuate or to assume that because they're diversity, equity, and inclusion people, or to blame them, people that, I don't know how you could say those people have lower psychological qualities. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what he's saying. But the fact of the matter is, we do want the highest quality of people in all positions, period. Especially when it comes to moving and flying and transporting people on high machinery, like an airplane and a helicopter. So with that, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and everybody have a good day and enjoy your weekend. Peace.